Welcome guys, John's Football Channel. This is your post review of Chelsea 0, ManCity 3. This is not the way we expected in the first half. I think we all were very excited. We were all up for it, the way it actually was happening in the first half compared to it finishing in the second. Let's get into this post review. So let's start with ManCity's lineup. They went, I think, more or less exactly the way I set up in the preview. I think the only player that wasn't there was probably Cherki. So they went Don Marumo in goal. They went Nunez as the right back, Koskova as the centre back, Mark Gurry as the other centre back, O'Reilly as the left back, Bernardo Silva and Rodri as the CDMs, and then Doku, Cherki, and Samedo as the midfield, just behind Holland. And then let's take a look at ours. We went with Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Fofana, Hato, Cucurella, Santos, Caicedo is the CDMs. Estevao, Palmer, Neto, and then João Pedro up front. With ours, I think we were all surprised that we saw Hato. I think we weren't that surprised, but we were definitely surprised to an extent. I think we all expected Tosin to start. To an extent, maybe luckily he didn't do so. I think Hato didn't put much of a foot wrong for this game. I think that they all played relatively well in the first half. I think we all know this. Estevao was a good one. I think it was a good selection. I thought maybe they could have played Garnacho as well. But the way we set it up, the way we had our lineup from minute one, it looked like a team that we were able and capable to actually go and win this game, basically. So let's have a look at what actually happened. So obviously we had some yellow cards in the first half, and apart from that, not much happened. We did dominate the ball in terms of the usage ratio compared to us using the ball from the minute that we actually had it, compared to ManCity. ManCity had the ball for a good portion of the first half as well, but didn't do really much with it. They had a couple of shots, but not really at the goalkeeper as well. So I think we had more bigger chances in the first half than ManCity, and I think with Liam Rosenior going into this game, I think in the second half, I think that's when everything turned. I think to an extent, I was thinking about this before I started this post review. I think, could it be that the youngsters that we have in our team are so immature that we are able to allow our minds just go into a space where we can say, no, we got this. They turn their minds off and say, no, it's fine. We'll just do what we did in the second half, without realizing, no, they have to keep sharp, keep focused, and actually say, no, I need to be scared, I need to be worried, I need to make sure I don't make a mistake. I think that's the kind of mentality that they need to have in terms of to be very sharp when they get into this game, and for them to be not relaxed. And going into the second half, we definitely looked relaxed. We definitely looked like nothing has changed mentally and physically. But yet, ManCity looked like they were preparing. They said it looks like probably Pep Guardiola was fighting with him, saying, "Guys, you're doing nonsense out there. You guys need to be improved." And I think probably that's where both teams turn basically. One team turned to being more relaxed, knowing that they did well, and the other team said, "No, the standards that we are setting for ourselves are not good enough." And I think it just shows why we are where we are. I think it's because of our mentality of our standards, are allowing our standards where to sit and where to allow them to actually fall. We allowed ourselves to fall from the break, and they didn't. They actually elevated themselves and actually went for the jugular. So this is what happened, and I think hence why in 6 minutes after the game has started in the second half, they ended up scoring. Then Cucurella got a yellow card in the 54th minute, and then the 57th. They scored again, and then we ended up making some substitutions. These substitutions, I think, were stupid to an extent. I think I can only understand, the only reason why I could understand with the Garnacho substitution is we're thinking of Estevao allowing Neto to play on the right, because we knew Doku, I think it was Doku and O'Reilly were giving problems to Estevao and João Pedro and Gusto. I think that's the only reason why I would allow Garnacho to come on, and I think that's the only exception I'm allowing it to make sense that we bring on Garnacho, because Garnacho we all knew as soon as he came on he was going to do nothing. Estevao, we knew Estevao. He didn't have the best game, but we knew that he had something in his locker, and out of nothing he could create something. So it was very disappointing to see him come on, Garnacho and Estevao to go off. But apart from that, if that was not in Liam Rossinia's mindset to say no, I'm going to just take him off because I need more protection. I need Neto to switch over to the right in order to protect Gusto, because Doku was causing most problems. If that was not the mindset of that's the reason why I'm making the substitution, then I'm completely against the substitution. The Santos and Lavia substitution, that made sense. We knew Santos was already on a yellow card, and I think I think he was on a yellow card if I'm not mistaken. But he clearly he didn't do the worst performance, but he didn't have the best either. And I think obviously when Lavia came on, you could clearly see the levels. It was a bit better, not to where we needed it to be, but it was a lot better than what it was. And then Doku ends up getting the third goal with, unfortunately, Caicedo. Most people would say Caicedo made a mistake. To an extent, he did, allowing himself to stay on the ball for too long. But I'm not blaming him alone. I'm blaming Sanchez. Sanchez, you are seeing the whole bloody field. You can clearly see Caicedo has no one else to pass to. You can clearly see ManCity players are all around him. 3 ManCity players around him. Why are you playing him the ball? What do you want him to do? 3 players. Where do you want him to play? If there's 3, there was one on each flank of him and then one behind in front of him, coming at him. Where is he playing it? By that time, they're already on him. So that mistake is also going on Sanchez. Sanchez, that is your fault as well. You cannot allow us to only blame Caicedo for that mistake. And I think that's... I don't know if it could be also a question of the first half, the team played for themselves, and the second half, they said, no, screw it. We are going to show what we're capable of in the first half, but we're going to allow, basically, ManCity to walk all over us in the second, because we need to show what this team actually is capable of and what it actually requires. And I think maybe to an extent, that could have been a possibility that the team said, no, screw it. We need to lose a couple of games for the owners to see what nonsense they have created and see if they could actually rectify this mistake. Let me know down below what you guys think. How did you guys see this game going? We also lined up in the office after Doku scored. There were substitutions. The likes of Foden came on, Savio, Kovacic, a nice player to see back, Chelsea boy, Liam Delap, Usugo also, his first Premier League game, and then Chiangpong. I think it's also a question of why hasn't Chiangpong been playing games. I think he's better than Gusto. Let me know down below. Do you guys think Chiangpong is slower than Gusto? He definitely looks taller. He definitely should be faster than Gusto. Let me know down below, who do you guys rate more, Gusto or Chiangpong? So yeah, that's how the game unfolded in terms of the substitutions and everything like that. Then obviously going into this game, let's look at the statistics. They had 17 shots, we had 12. They had 7 shots on target, we had 3. Touches in the opposition's box, they had 43 touches. We only had 14. Big chances, obviously, I think in the first half we had 1 or 2 compared to them. I think they had 0 or 1. Now they had 3 at the end of the game. We only had 2. Big chances missed. We have missed 2. They missed 0. Just shows you also how clinical they are. Not to even miss a chance, an opportunity to attack. And then accurate passes. They had nearly 600 passes. We only had 300. Fouls committed. We have committed 8 fouls. They converted 13. Corners. They had 11 corners. We had 4. We had quite a lot of offsides in this game. We had 6 offsides. I'm very surprised how Cucurella was able to get offside so many times. I think we also can't blame him. I think we can also blame the person who plays the ball. But apart from that, let me know down below, who do you think was your best player for this game? I'm going to go with probably my best player for this game was probably, I think, Palmer. I'm going to go with Palmer. Definitely Palmer. You could clearly see until the end, he was still fighting. He was keep pushing. He clearly wanted to prove something. And I think he wanted a consolation goal for us to not go home with nothing, basically. Very well done to Palmer for trying. Unfortunately, I would have been very proud of the team if we actually won, considering that we did so well in the first half, and then it was just unfortunate for us to lose everything in the second. Let me know down below what you guys think. Do you think also maybe to an extent maybe Pep was able to change certain things tactically in the second half, and Liam Rossini wasn't able to read into those things before it was too late? Let me know down below. Do you think that was a possibility? But yeah, guys, this is my post review of Chelsea 0, Man City 3. And we can only move into the next game now and actually focus as to what we'll be doing in that game. And let's see what happens with Man City and Arsenal. We all know there's a crazy thing going on now. Who's going to win the league? I think the way Man City are celebrating, it sounds like they have a lot more motivation. And I think it's very easy for a team or a person to move from the bottom and raise up compared to a person who's really up there and stay consistent. It's harder to stay consistent than a person achieving his goals and progressing. You have a lot more confidence because you can see different levels. You can see a different side of you. I think hence why Man City have a very good chance of winning the league now. They are up for it. And I think Arsenal definitely have to watch out. Let me know down below what you guys think. What do you think of this Man City game against Chelsea? And let me know down below what you guys think of this thing going on around Arsenal and Man City for the league. Guys, peace.